Apple have just released version 2.3.17 of GarageBand on the iPhone and the iPad. So what's under the hood with this new release? And is there anything in there that you should care about? Well, let's jump in and take a look. Let's go. Let's not bury the lead on this one. Is this going to be a game changer with a whole bunch of fancy, shiny new features? No, it's bug fixes, it's stability improvements, but there is one new feature that we're going to cover right at the end that will help you if you're sharing your GarageBand projects via email. So let's dive in and go through these one by one. Under stability and reliability, we have resolves an issue where GarageBand could quit unexpectedly when drummer characters are rapidly swapped. So if you go from your Kyle to your Logan back to your Kyle too quickly, it could cause GarageBand to quit. Didn't come across it personally. If you did, let us know in the comments. If you're happy about this, also resolves an issue where GarageBand could quit unexpectedly when tapping between categories in Alchemy synth packs without touching a keyboard. Again, I haven't come across this. In fact, my mate Patrick over at the GarageBand Guide did test some of these out. So if you wanted to see these in action, go and check out Patrick's video linked up there or in the description. Performance. It resolves an issue where holding notes on an on-screen keyboard while closing a pop-over menu might lead to stuck notes. If you've ever had those stuck MIDI notes, that's a pain. It's a good thing they're fixing these. And it also fixes an issue where switching away from GarageBand while recording could cancel the recording, which is not a good thing because if, like me, you use GarageBand and you love using it with background mode on, so you can run it in the background so you can maybe check some lyrics or open up another app, yeah, we'd get this problem where it would close down. So that's actually a very good bug fix, especially if you're recording lyrics or vocals while trying to read them off another screen. Next, we have undo. Now, undo is finally here for the drummer. So there were some things that undo didn't work for. If in the past you changed some of your drummer options, the undo button wouldn't actually pop up and you wouldn't be able to undo those options. We've now got undo and redo for drummer. So if you were having that problem, it's fixed. This next one resolves an issue where a duplicate reference to the same MIDI draw data of the audio region has been removed. Error could come up after performing undo after loading a new live loops grid. Now, I don't use live loops a whole lot, and I've never come across that particular error. But if you have, if that's been the bear of your existence, then yeah, it's gone now. Bear? Maybe I was thinking about bugbear. And it fixes an issue where performing an undo after removing plugins from an electronic drum kit, then loading another kit could result in missing labels in the drum kit. Again, a very small proportion of folks may have come across that, but if you have, it's fixed now. Next up is plugins. Resolves an issue where renaming a user-created preset could delete it. Now, I'm assuming that it's meaning the plugins in here as opposed to the actual plugins, because this is where you can save a custom preset. So this is saying that if you come into your custom presets and you choose to rename one of them, that could actually make it become deleted. So that's fixed now. Instruments. Transpose buttons now work as expected on instruments with a limited key range. So here's the thing that Apple have done that may be a little controversial. They've ensured that you can only transpose instruments within the real range of that instrument. So for instance, I've got the upright bass here that I've added here under the other instrument category. The same thing for your guitars and anything else that has a limited range. You can't actually change these outside of their range. So you can go down to the low C, but you can't go up above a high G. Now, you might say, well, that's realistic. You want realism in your instruments, but sometimes you want to experiment with music, so you're unable to actually do that. And it's the same when you come out into your MIDI note grid. So if you come in here and start editing notes, that's the same thing. You won't be able to transpose and move those notes. In fact, you won't even be able to see the notes above or below. Now, if you play them in with a MIDI keyboard, they will play back, but they won't be visible if they're below or above the range. So that's, I guess, your hack or your workaround if you do want to reach those notes that are unreachable by your keyboard or by transposing. I don't know about this change. Maybe it's for the good. Beat sequencer. If you've used the beat sequencer, you will know that once you've got your beat set up here, you can't reorder the order of the kit pieces. Well, now, guess what? You can. You can grab them and you can move these around. So this is actually going to be handy that if you're only using, say, a couple of different kit pieces and you want just those to show, you can move them up so that they're going to be better and more easily visible. What a fire beat. Under recording, it fixes an issue where drummer tracks could incorrectly show a record enable button. If you don't know what that is, when you have multi-track recording selected in your advanced options here in GarageBand iOS, you have these record enable buttons here. And if you're using multi-channel interface, you can record multiple tracks at once. A problem was that your drummer had a record enable, and if you know how drummer works, that's not how drummer works. So they've removed any problems where record enable may pop up on your drummer. And last but by no means least, if you've been using GarageBand iOS for a while, you would be aware that if you try to share a .band file over email or via file sharing, it doesn't work. It becomes corrupted. You need to zip that up. Well, guess what? GarageBand can now load zipped song files with the extension .band.zip that are sent via email. It'll automatically zip them, and then it will unzip them at the other end. Let's show you how. So I'm here in GarageBand. Here's a recent song I'm working on, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to tap and hold, and then hit the share button over here. I'm going to share the project. And when my share sheet pops up here, I'm going to send a copy and do it via mail. Let's tap on mail. And you'll notice that it automatically zips up this file. It's .band.zip. I can now send this over to myself. Hit send, and that's on its way. And here is that email that I've got from myself, but you can suspend disbelief and assume it's coming from someone else. All we need to do now is tap on this file and actually save it. So we can either use the share button here to save it, or from right here in our email, we can tap on that one. We can come down here to save attachment and choose where we want to save it. Let's save it into my GarageBand for iOS folder on my iCloud Drive and hit save. So let's jump back to GarageBand, go to iCloud Drive and jump here into GarageBand for iOS. Now, this is where I think I'm doing something wrong. Please tell me in the comments if I'm missing something super obvious, but I've saved this here into my GarageBand folder and I can't open it. It's grayed out. It will not let me open it directly in GarageBand. Now, it's not a huge problem because all I need to do is open up the Files app and go to that same location, and there you can see I can just tap on this one here and it will unzip it and automatically save it as a GarageBand project. But the documentation seemed to say that it can now open and load zipped song files, whereas really all I seem to be doing here is unzipping it and then loading it. And again, it's just one extra step in the process, so we can tap that, open the project, and there it is, we're good to go. And yes, I have tried other options like saving this one to the downloads file or to documents. It just does the same thing. It opens it in files and then you need to open it in GarageBand. And I've even tried tapping on here and hitting the share button and seeing if we can send it directly to GarageBand to open. It doesn't seem to be an option. So is this still a good option if you're sharing GarageBand projects? Yes, it is, because it does mean that it will automatically zip it up, so you're not going to get those corrupted files being sent. It just doesn't seem to do exactly what it says it does. And if you are looking to share files that are larger than a small project, I still recommend using iCloud Drive or Google Drive or Dropbox, and you will need to zip up your project file. Before we finish up, let's just show you how to do that. So let's say I want to share a project that's a bit larger, such as this Songtember song from a few years ago. What I'll need to do is come here to the Files app, tap and hold on it, and then hit the compress button. And you'll see it will zip up that project, and there it is. It's available now. So wherever you've saved this, you can now go to iCloud Drive, Dropbox, Google Drive, and upload this file. At the other end, the other person does exactly the same thing. They download it, they unzip it using the Files app, they open it in GarageBand, and they're good to go. So there you have it. Nothing game-changing here in the new GarageBand iOS version, but a few things that will change the way that you create and maybe share your GarageBand projects. If you've got comments about this, things that I've missed, or things that you would like to add, drop those in the comments below. I'll also put a link there to Patrick's wonderful video on this very update as well, if you want to check that out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.